Hello, welcome to OG channel. In this video, I'll be taking you through how to do basic configuration on a Cisco switch. Before we get started, I would like to point out some of the things we are going to be touching. The first thing is we connect the devices. We are going to configure a host name on the switch. We are going to configure the console and the VTY password. For the VTY, we are going to try to touch both Telnet and SSH configuration. Then we are going to configure the enable password, that's the privilege level password. And after that, we are going to check into the running config and see that some of the password we have configured are actually plain text. So we are going to see how we can encrypt all, so that all our passwords will be encrypted. So let's get started. The first thing I would like to bring out go into the network devices and switches and pick out the 2960 Cortex switch. Then I'll go pick the device, end device. I'll pick a PC. Then we are going to click on connection to connect them together. First, I will be using the console cable. Why I'm using that console cable is that we are going to see how it can work, how we can do a console connection to the switch. That's when you are in the same, you are physically with the device, with the switch you want to configure it. So with the console cable, let's plug it to the RS port of the PC, then we connect it to the switch console port. After achieving that, let's say we want to also configure the switch from maybe your own office, the admin from his office, without going to the network. We want to configure the switch. Maybe you are connected to the switch, you are on the same network, so you are connected through the copper straight through cable. So let's say the device is fast Ethernet port to the fast Ethernet 1 of the switch 2. So when we are doing our VTY configuration, we are going to be using this so that we can reach out to this switch via the terminal SSH or the Telnet. So let's get started. We are going to start with so after that we have achieved the first one, that's connecting the devices, and then I will configure host name. So let's click on this PC now. We go to the desktop. We are going to click on the terminal and then OK. So we are in the switch now. Let me press enter. You are going to see that the default name is switch. So we type enable, then press enter. You have been able to enter the privilege exec mode now. So here we are going to type config the terminal so that we can enter the global configuration mode. So you see that it has changed to config. So here now we are going to type host name to achieve the second goal, that's changing the name. So the switch, we are going to change it to legit switch, then press enter. You notice that the switch has changed to audit switch now. So that means we have achieved the second point, that's configuring the host name. Now configuring the console and the VTY, we are going to take a little bit time here because we are going to be doing the configuration and be confirming what you have configured. So now what we are going to do is we start with console configuration so that we can add password instead of us just entering into the switch without entering any password. We want to secure the switch. So what we do is that we say line console 0, enter. So we have entered the line and configuration mode. Now we are in the console 0. So what we are going to do now is that we say password, let's say Cisco 26. So we have done that. So it is true now that we have configured the password, but it does not really take any effect. Let's check that. do show run. So we are checking the running configuration mode. You can see the host name that we've configured now has taken effect. Then we look at the line console 0. You can see that the password is here, but if we happen to log out of this device now and we log in back, it's not going to ask us for this password. So there is something we still need to do. What we do is that we say login, so that password, it should be required when we want to log in. So after doing that, if you go back to the running config, running configuration, so we are going to see that now the line is having this password is implemented on login. So fine, let's exit. If we exit this now, or let's say end, after end we can exit. So when we try to log in, it's now asking us for password. So we now type the same password we just configured. It's not going to be showing the password. I just type that same Cisco 26 now. Present. I see that you have been able to now enter the user mode. Then from here we can say enable. We enter the privilege, then configure terminal. So having done that, we are going to see at the next thing. That means we are done with the console configuration now. Then we go to the VTY, that's the virtual login mode. So if you are not physically with the device, how can you configure the device? Maybe from your office or remotely from anywhere you are. So line VTY. So we have 16 VTY ports. So we are going to only activate 5 of them. That is from 0 to 4. Those are the ones we are going to activate. Then the rest we are going to deactivate them, so that we know that our admin will not be logging in from maybe more than 4 or 5 won't be logging in at a time. So line VTY is 0 to, for security reasons, 0 to 4. Enter. So now we are going to put password here too. Password, let's say Cisco again 1 2 3. For this one we use Cisco 1 2 3. Enter. So we have already put the password now. So for VTY, the login is there by default, so you must put password to login. So now if you go and check it the same way we check the console, you see that the login is already active. So what do we want to do now? We want to configure by default all means of login will be activated for VTY. Telnet, SSH will be active, but we want to restrict it now. Let's say we restrict it to, let's say, Telnet. So you say transport input Telnet. So with this, even SSH, you won't be able to SSH it into the device. You can only use Telnet. So we do that first. So we've done that. Let's say do show run. If you look at it, see that this our password for console is plain text. For the VTY2 is plain text, and you can see what I said. Login. We have done this now. We have done the Telnet. We have done the console. So the next thing we are going to do is, let's see the Telnet. So let's see the Telnet. Let's end this. Let's end this. Okay, exit. Okay, let's close this terminal. Let's say from the device now we want to access the device. So another mistake we've done is that we have not really configured IP address on the device. So let's use the terminal to finish that. Cisco 26 to log in the console. Enable configure terminal So let's say interface VLAN 1. So that VLAN 1 will be the switch interface. That's by default. The VLAN 1 is the switch virtual interface. So we log into it so that we can remotely be logging through that IP address. So we assign IP address. Let's say 192.168.100.26, then 055 255 rather 255.255.255.0. So that's the subnet mask. So then say no shutdown to activate the port, no shutdown. So it's up now. So we can now exit this. And countries Z. So let's exit the console. So let's close this. So the device 2, let's attend to the IP address of this device 192.168.100.sa maybe 1. And the subname is set. Good. I haven't done that, so let's go to command prompt now and say Telnet 192.168.100.26. So now you see it is now open now. So we can now enter Cisco 123. That's the password for the Telnet. Okay, so we have been able to Telnet into the device. So now let's say enable. So we've not set the enable password here. So we are going to do that, but we have been able to see that the Telnet have been done. So we are going to do that when we do the SSH now. So let's leave that. Then let's go to the terminal again. So Cisco 26 enable. Okay, configure terminal. Oh, that's a mistake. Configure terminal. Okay, now before we start configuration of the SSH, there are some things that you need to do before configuring the SSH on the device. One, we have done it. We have renamed the device. So from the default switch, we have renamed it. The second thing is that let's create a domain, IP domain name ogit.net. So we have said that. So let's see what are the let's see the strength of the password I want to create. There's a crypto key. Let's generate the key. Generate general keys. The modulars should be 1024. So I think that's great. Okay, I've made a mistake there. So you can see the mistake there. RSA generate the RSA key. RSA general keys modulars 1024. So we have done that, and it's telling us that we are using version 1 of SSH. So we can use IP SSH version 2. Okay, so now we are using we have set it to version 2 now. Good. So Then we can now proceed. Then yes, say this username that we'll be using to log in. Username, let's say admin, let's say the secrets, the password we are going to be using is a more username admin secret, more secure password. That's we are using secrets. Username admin secret, let's say Cisco 321. So we use 1 2 3 for the Telnet. Telnet is not that secure because it's transferred in our data in plain text. So that's why SSH is better. We just need to do the two. Because there are sometimes you use Telnet in some situations like that. So username admin secret Cisco 321. So I think we've done that too. So good. Transport now. We need to now go into line VDY 0 to 4 now. So transport now. Input Telnet and SSH. So which means you can log in. So you can see it here. You can see all now. So you can either use none, you can use all. So what we are going to, you can see that we can use SSH and Telnet. So we are going to put all since we want to use both the SSH and Telnet. So good. I think do show run now. Do show run. That's for the running config. Now we can see the username and we see the secrets that we set. See that it's encrypted already, not like the Telnet and the console they are shown. So I think we have achieved this now. So the next thing is that we configure privilege mode. Now let's do that too. Let's configure the privilege mode. So enable. Let's exit this port. Then we have been to global configuration mode. Now let's say enable secret. Let's use Cisco 6 here again. Okay, good. Now do the show running config. Now we have the IP the SSH is version 2. We've seen the enable secret now. We use secret for this one too, so it's encrypted already. This one is encrypted already. So the ones that we use a password for, they are plain text. So we are going to encrypt all of them now. So let's see. This is service password encryption. So let's say do show run again. So now if you check our pass, you see that they are now also encrypted. Though it's not at the level of encryption is not as strong. This one is 7, so it's not as strong as the one we use for the SSH and the enable secret. So we have achieved all that we want to do here now. So now let's go and confirm what you have done. Let's close this. Let's go to, so let's say now let's exit this. We have closed the connection to the Telnet. So let's say now SSH 9 the username admin into 192.168.1. 192.100.26. So now, what's the password for the admin that we set? I think Cisco 321. I think we have made Cisco. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. So Cisco 1, 2, 3 was what we use. So now we see the enable password that we have set. Enable. So when we do enable now, we have already set password. Also the password we use, I think we use Cisco 26 again. Yes, that's correct. So configure terminal. So can you see? So which means all the configuration that we did, we have implemented them. For us to save all this thing we have done, you can just do this. You can say copy running config to start up. Start up. So you should copy all our configuration in the running configuration mode. You should copy it to the startup so that it's going to be saved anytime we restart the system. The same configuration will be there. Yes. So it's now confirmed that. Do you want to save into this type of config? Yes, we are sure. Press enter and we are done with our configuration. So if you restart this device now, everything is okay.